This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans.
We all have our guilty pleasures, but some foods are so unhealthy that even just a little can do a number on your body actually. Counterbalance that added sugar. The same goes for artificial colors and dyes that go into those colors are getting made in a lab. You might love them, crave them, and even defend them, but let's be real, these foods aren't doing you any favors. And yes, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is practically begging Americans to put them down and FDA to doing the research to understand the relationship between these different food additives. What are the foods that Americans need to stop eating? What are the reasons behind Robert's prayers? In this video, we will look at 20 foods that Americans need to stop eating so that Americans understand it and make sure that Americans are away. But I don't want to take food away from anybody. Potato chips. Potato chips are everywhere. They're at parties, in lunch boxes, and stacked on the store shelves in flashy bags that make them impossible to ignore. This is my bag of Ruffles potato chips, and once you open a bag, it's game over. No one eats just one, but the sad reality is that these crispy, salty slices of heaven are doing serious damage to your body bite by bite. First, let's talk about sodium overload. A single 8-0 bag of plain chips can contain up to 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That's well over half the daily recommended intake from the World Health Organization, and let's be real, most of us eat way more than the suggested serving size. What happens when you take in too much salt? Your body retains water, making you feel bloated and sluggish. Not to mention, high sodium levels can spike your blood pressure, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke over time. But the problems don't stop there. Chips are deep fried just like French fries, meaning they soak up unhealthy fats that contribute to weight gain and clogged arteries, and because they're designed to stay crispy for months, they're often loaded with preservatives that don't belong in your body. Let's also not forget about acrylamides, which are chemicals that form when starchy foods are fried at high temperatures. Studies suggest acrylamides could be linked to an increased risk of cancer, and while research is ongoing, do you really want to take that risk for a handful of chips? If you're shocked by this, what other food items are even more dangerous? Brace yourself. The most shocking part is still ahead. French fries. French fries might just be one of the hardest foods to give up. They're served with burgers piled high on plates at diners and come in a red carton that practically calls your name at drive-thrus. But here's the brutal truth: these crispy golden potato sticks are health nightmares. A plain baked potato, about 93 calories and hardly any fat. Deep fry it into fries, you're now looking at 310 calories and 14.7 g of fat per 100 g. That's not just a minor jump, it's a full-on transformation from harmless veggie to a fat-soaked disaster. But the real danger isn't just the extra calories, it's what happens during the deep frying process. Potatoes lose water and absorb loads of oil, and that oil isn't the good kind. It's often packed with trans fats and saturated fats, both of which raise bad cholesterol and increase the risk of heart disease. And let's talk about portion sizes. No one ever eats just a handful of fries. A large order that can easily top 500 calories, and if you dip them in mayo or cheese sauce, you're just stacking on more unhealthy fats. To make matters worse, fried foods have been linked to inflammation and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. So what's the solution? You don't have to say goodbye to fries forever, but you should definitely make them at home using an air fryer or oven. You'll still get that crispy bite, but with way less oil, fewer unhealthy fats, and none of the regret. Breakfast cereals. Breakfast cereals might seem like a harmless way to start your morning, but don't be fooled by the bright packaging and health claims. Many cereals are nothing more than sugar bombs disguised as breakfast. A single serving can contain up to 18 g of sugar, about 5 teaspoons, which is dangerously close to the daily limit of 9 teaspoons for men and 6 for women. And let's be honest, when was the last time you actually measured out a single serving? Typical mom on a family farm in pre-industrial agrarian times. Most people pour double that amount without even realizing it. But sugar isn't the only problem. Most cereals are made from refined grains, which means the natural fiber and nutrients have been stripped away during processing. This leads to quick digestion, blood sugar spikes, and energy crashes, leaving you hungry way Before lunchtime, over time this pattern increases the risk of weight gain, insulin resistance, and even type 2 diabetes. This is not to say all cereals are bad, because it is still a healthier choice for your kids. I know my kids eat cereal, and then there are the artificial additives. Many cereals contain preservatives, artificial flavors, and food dyes, some of which have been linked to hyperactivity in children and other health issues. Even the ones labeled whole grain or high fiber often contain hidden sugars and processed ingredients. For a better breakfast, opt for whole grain oats. Plain yogurt with fresh fruit or eggs actually counterbalance that added sugar. The same goes for artificial colors and dyes that go into there. Your body deserves real food, not a bowl of candy disguised as a morning meal. Noodles is another possible morning meal, but you might want to rethink your next meal. After this, instant noodles, instant ramen may be the ultimate quick meal, but it's far from a healthy one. And today we investigate instant soups and ramen noodles. While it's cheap, convenient, and undeniably tasty, it's also loaded with sodium, unhealthy fats, and practically no real nutrition. A single serving can contain up to 1,500 milligrams of sodium, about 3 chew of the recommended daily limit, and since most people eat the entire package, they're consuming nearly a full day's worth of salt in one sitting. What's the problem with too much sodium? It makes your body retain water, leading to bloating, high blood pressure, and increased strain on your heart. Might make your favorite instant soup a little healthier. As you point out, you can actually use half the packet of seasoning. Over time, a high sodium diet raises the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney issues. And let's not forget the little seasoning packet. It's packed with artificial flavor enhancers like MSG, which some people say cause dizziness, headaches, and nausea. The noodles themselves aren't any better to give them that long shelf life. They're often deep fried before packaging, meaning they're loaded with unhealthy trans fats. These fats clog arteries, raise bad cholesterol levels, and increase the risk of obesity and heart disease. If you love ramen, try making a healthier version with fresh noodles, low sodium broth, and real vegetables. As Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said, I pray all Americans stop eating these foods, and instant ramen is definitely one of them. Processed cheese. Every cheese we're going to talk about how to cut, serve, and store cheeses. Cheese is a beloved ingredient in many meals, but not all cheese is created equal. While natural cheese is made from milk, salt, and cultures, processed cheese is a completely different story. Those bright orange slices, canned cheese spreads, and fast food cheese toppings are packed with additives, preservatives, and unhealthy fats that do more harm than good. One of the biggest issues with processed cheese is its excessive sodium content. Some varieties contain 50% more salt than natural cheese, which contributes to high blood pressure, bloating, and an increased risk of heart disease. Time for the holidays and all the baking that goes with them. New research suggests high dairy fats are good for your heart, but that's not all. Processed cheese is also loaded with unhealthy fats, which can contribute to weight gain and cholesterol problems over time. Then there's the long list of artificial ingredients. Manufacturers add emulsifiers, preservatives, and artificial colorings to create a smooth, stretchy texture and extend shelf life. Some processed cheeses even contain added starches and vegetable oils, making them more of a science experiment than a dairy product. While they may melt beautifully on a burger, they offer little to no real nutritional value. Processed cheese is everywhere from fast food to packaged snacks, but that doesn't mean it belongs in your diet. Instead, opt for real cheese like cheddar, Swiss, or mozzarella. When it comes to cheese, the less processed the better. What other processed food should you avoid? You're at the edge of your seat, and it's about to get even better. Instant mashed potatoes. Today we are taking a 50 pounds bag of potatoes that we got and turning into instant mashed potatoes. Instant mashed potatoes might seem like a lifesaver on busy nights, but they come with hidden downsides that could make you rethink that quick fix. These dehydrated flakes may resemble real mashed potatoes, but they're packed with extra ingredients that change their nutritional value entirely. One big concern is the sodium content. A single serving can contain around 440 mg of sodium, which is nearly 25% of the recommended daily limit. But let's be honest, no one eats just one serving. If you're adding butter or extra seasoning, that number climbs even higher. Too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure, bloating, and increased risk of heart disease. Then there's the calorie Count while fresh potatoes are relatively low in calories, instant mashed potatoes pack over 200 calories per cup. That's because manufacturers add unhealthy saturated fats and preservatives to improve the texture and flavor. These additives can contribute to weight gain and other long-term health problems. Remember the best-selling book, Potatoes Not Prozac? Well, I have no love lost on antidepressants. Speaking of additives, instant mashed potatoes contain emulsifiers and stabilizers to give them a creamy, smooth texture. Completely cooked, we drained all the water out and just mashed all the potatoes. Some brands even include ingredients like silicon dioxide and artificial flavors, which have little to no nutritional benefit. For a healthier alternative, try mashing fresh potatoes. At home it takes a little more effort, but you'll avoid EX of sodium, preservatives, and unhealthy fats. Plus, keeping the skins on adds extra fiber and nutrients your body and your taste buds will thank you. Microwave popcorn. Microwave popcorn might be the easiest movie night snack, but there's a lot more in that bag than just popcorn. While plain air popped popcorn is a healthy whole grain snack, the microwavable kind comes loaded with chemicals, artificial flavorings, and unhealthy fats. One major issue is the packaging. Microwave popcorn bags are often coated with perforin compounds which prevent grease from soaking through the bag. The problem: these chemicals can break down into perfluorooctanoic acid, a substance linked to cancer and other serious health risks. Even though some manufacturers have phased out PFOA, other similar compounds may still be present. Then there's the butter flavor, that rich buttery aroma. It often comes from artificial flavoring agents including diethyl, which has been linked to respiratory problems when inhaled in large amounts. Some brands claim to have removed diethyl, but they may have replaced it with other artificial chemicals. Microwave popcorn chemicals before being molded into those familiar tubes. One major issue with hot dogs is their sky-high sodium content. Mustard heat is weird. It's more that like wasabi, like a tack, like the back of your nose. I love this good. It's really good. I told you, man, this dog is incredible. A single hot dog can have over 500 mg of sodium, about a quarter of your recommended daily intake, and let's be honest, no one eats just one. Too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure, bloating, and an increased risk of heart disease. But that's not all. Many hot dogs contain high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, which is linked to obesity and metabolic issues. Some brands also add nitrates and nitrites, which help preserve the meat, but have been associated with a higher risk of cancer. If you love a good handheld meal, why not try a veggie sandwich instead? Load up whole grain bread with fresh veggies, hummus, or avocado for a satisfying heart healthy alternative. Your body will thank you. White bread. There's something nostalgic about a fluffy slice of white bread, but here's the hard truth: it's basically empty calories. White bread is made from refined flour, meaning all the good stuff like fiber, vitamins, and minerals has been stripped away during processing. I'm going to shape the dough into a uniform shape. I'm just folding it into itself so I can what's left a soft, airy bread that offers very little nutritional value. To make matters worse, many brands use bleached flour which undergo chemical processing to make it whiter and finer in texture. Some even add sugar to improve taste and shelf life. This bread has got kind of a sweet flavor, a honey, making it more like a sugary snack than a wholesome food. This combination of refined flour and added sugar causes your blood sugar to spike and crash, leaving you feeling hungry again in no time. Another issue is the fiber. Now look, people have been using sugar and fat induced for centuries. Whole grains help slow digestion and keep you full longer, but white bread lacks this benefit. Without fiber, it's easier to overeat and feel sluggish afterward. Would you be able to stop eating bread? Well, what about red meat? Stay tuned. The unhealthy details about red meat will leave you speechless. Red meat, a juicy burger at a barbecue or a perfectly cooked steak, might be a delicious treat, but eating red meat regularly could spell trouble for your health. Red meat is high in saturated fat, which can increase bad cholesterol levels and put you at risk for heart disease when consumed in excess. It's the red meat that's causing the cancer and not all the other foods that they're eating. Okay, so studies have linked excessive red meat consumption to higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers. Processed red meats like bacon and sausages are even worse due to added preservatives and nitrates, which have been connected to long-term health risks. Another downside: red meat takes longer to digest compared to other proteins, which can leave you feeling sluggish. Is red meat really the single Best food you can eat plus grilling or frying red meat at high temperatures can create harmful compounds called heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons (PHS), which have been linked to cancer. Instead of making red meat a regular part of your diet, consider healthier alternatives. Grilled salmon or sashimi is packed with omega-3 fatty acids because most people are caught in the crossfire of conflicting information around red meat, which support heart health and reduce inflammation. Plant-based options like lentils, beans, and tofu also provide plenty of protein without the health risks. Making the switch can help keep notorious for raising bad cholesterol levels and increasing the risk of heart disease. Even if they claim to be trans fat-free, they often still contain highly processed saturated fats which aren't much better for your arteries. And let's talk about sugar. This seems like an odd one for us. Donuts are already one of the cheapest foods on the planet, coming in at this price per donut. On average, a single donut can contain as much as 20 to 30 gr of sugar, sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. Regular consumption of ultra-processed sugary foods has been linked to higher rates of obesity, insulin resistance, and even depression. That's right, what starts as a sweet pick-me-up can actually contribute to mood swings and low energy levels. Delicate donuts to fall off of that conveyor belt. I mean, being North Kakalaki boys, if you're craving something sweet, why not try apple slices drizzled with almond butter and sprinkled with cinnamon? It might not sound as exciting as a frosted dud, but once your taste buds adjust, you'll find natural sweetness just as satisfying. Without the sugar crash, if you're able to let go of donuts, can you let go of the delicious milkshakes? Brace yourself, because what's hiding in your favorite milkshake might make you think twice. Milkshakes. While milkshakes may not be as popular as they once were, their sweet, creamy allure continues to make them a beloved indulgence across the world. However, behind their nostalgic charm lies a truth that might leave a bitter taste. But the downtown was our second location, was our first expansion for the milkshake factory, and we got an opportunity with PNC Bank to open up. Milkshakes are loaded with high levels of sugar, unhealthy fats, and calories. Many milkshakes are made with flavored syrups, sugary sauces, or sweetened powders, all of which can add a significant amount of sugar to the drink. This is made worse by the high levels of unhealthy fats found in the whole milk ice cream or whipped cream used in their preparation. All of this contributes to their high calorie content. Today we're making this ultimate chocolate milkshake. The first thing we need to do is decorate our glass. A typical milkshake can contain up to 500 calories depending on the size and ingredients used. Consuming too many calories can lead to weight gain and other health issues. Opting for smaller sizes or choosing low-fat milk with natural sweeteners can help make milkshakes a healthier indulgence. Rice milk. Rice milk might sound like a good dairy-free alternative, but nutritionally it's one of the weakest options out there. It's made by blending rice with water and straining out the solids, which means it's mostly just starch and water. While it's naturally lactose-free and low in fat, it's also lacking in the essential nutrients you'd expect from a milk substitute. One of the biggest concerns with rice milk is its high carbohydrate content. A single cup contains around 33 g of carbohydrates. That's 3 times more than regular cow's milk. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of drinking Vitasoy rice milk. High fiber. This makes it a terrible choice for diabetics or anyone trying to manage their blood sugar. Unlike whole grains that provide fiber to slow down digestion, rice milk is quickly absorbed, causing spikes in blood sugar levels and increasing the risk of insulin resistance over time. Another downside: it's seriously lacking in protein. Unlike soy or almond milk, which offers some protein, homemade rice milk, this stuff actually tastes really decent. Rice milk has almost none. If you're using it as a replacement for dairy, you'll be missing out on an important macronutrient that helps keep you full and supports muscle health. To make matters worse, rice milk is also low in calcium, with only about 1% of your recommended daily intake per serving. If you're looking for a healthier dairy-free option or light you want it, it's up to you. But there go cashew milk. I'm sorry, there go rice milk. One appetit. Go for unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or soy milk. These alternatives have better nutritional profiles and won't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. What other food items would you have to thrash after this video? Stay tuned, the most interesting part is still ahead. Soda. Drink soda may be fizzy, refreshing, and fun to drink, but the Health risks far outweigh the temporary pleasure. It's no secret that soda is packed with sugar just one can contains. Moderation and pair them with protein or healthy fats like nuts or yogurt to slow sugar absorption. So while dates are better than processed candy, there's still not a free pass to unlimited. Snacking balance is key. Really good, and also just tastes like caramel. Nice and sweet. Are there any of these foods you would completely give up, and which ones are just too hard to resist? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Click on the next video displayed on your screen. You will enjoy it.